Right, you have an Xterra 50.
50, yep.
I have an Xterra 30.
Yep.
There is a difference between these detectors because you have an extra button on yours.
Two extra buttons.
Two extra buttons,
Yep.
sorry. And one is ground balance.
Correct.
Now, can you tell me what is the ground balancing and why you need to ground balance the machine?
Yes. Ground balancing basically is just the adjustment of the detector to any mineralization that could be in the soil. That could cause the detector to behave very erratically, give you false signals. You wouldn't be able to pick up the signals that actually are in the ground. So that's the indication if you need to ground balance. And there is a difference between these two machines. The 30 has fixed ground balancing. There's no adjustment, but it is set to handle most ground conditions. But the 50 does have a ground balance, a manual adjustment. And should I show you how that works?
Please do.
Turn the detector on. Start up tone. And you need to find a place where there is no metal in the ground to do this ground balancing.
So the metal will affect it, yeah?
It will affect it. So make sure there's no metal around where your coil is.
Right.
And then you hit your ground balance button. And see you got that high tone.
Right.
What you want is a balance between high and low tones. In fact, you want as close to no tone as you can get. You want to get the coil down as low as you can get it without actually touching the ground if you can manage that. So if you touch the ground, it could knock the ground balancing off a little bit.
So the ground balancing is knocking out the mineralization in the soil and stuff?
It's nulling out any interference that could be in the ground, basically. So that's a high tone, so that means we need to use the minus key to drop the number down. It was on 10, there's 9. Still high. Okay, it's still high, but it's almost gone. There's 6, and you hear a low tone coming in. You go a little further, and you really get a loud low tone, so we need to go back up to between 6. It's still a little loud. 7. A little bit of a high tone, but it's not very loud. So that's about where you want to go. So hit your pinpoint detect button, and you're ready to go.
How often do we ground balance? Is there?
If the machine becomes erratic, if it starts acting strangely to you, if you detect an acre field and you get halfway through and the machine starts acting up, then you should ground balance or noise cancel, which we'll cover in a second too. So I mean, you ground balance just as often as you need to. You'll have to learn the machine to know when you should, but do it as often as you need to.
Cool. Thanks for that, Pat. Great explanation.
Noise cancel is the other thing.
Oh, we're doing that as well?
We're doing that as well.
All right.
Noise cancel is the other thing, and noise cancel is similar to ground balancing.
Do I have this on the 30?
No, you do not. You have, on the 50 only.
Okay, right.
Noise cancel means adjusting the detector to any electrical interference, which could be caused with power lines, satellite dishes, things of that nature. Even electrical fences is where questions get raised.
Is that, I mean, I've used many of mine on detectors. That's also good when you've got a few of the same detectors with you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it cuts them out.
Yes, absolutely, because you could be interfering with somebody else's detector or vice versa. So you go into noise cancel and adjust that. With the Xterra 50, you have 3 adjustments, 3 different stages. And to noise cancel, the coil needs to be flat on the ground, still, as possible. Hit your menu select button. It's on sensitivity. Hit it twice more. There's volume, and there's noise channel. It's on setting 1 now. If you have to change it, use your minus key to 0. You'll hear that tone. That means it's done. And at that point, if the machine is stable, you hit your pinpoint detect button, and away you go. If you have to do it again, same procedure. The menu button remembers your last setting where you were, so you just hit it once for noise cancel. Hit the minus button to go down to -1. And there it is. Pinpoint detect, and you're ready to go. Did you know that Alexander Graham Bell is given credit for inventing the first metal detector in 1881? President Garfield, the U.S. president at the time, had been shot, and Bell was called in to try to detect the bullet in his body. He couldn't detect it, but later on they found out that the reason he couldn't detect it was because the president had been laid out on a coil spring mattress.